Rumors are that allegedly porshaguobadia is no longer in the running to join Sweet 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. What happened? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Porsha Williams is no longer in the running to join the ladies for season Sweet 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. What happened? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more, and here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly porshaguobadia is no longer in the running to join season Sweet 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta after almost certainly being offered a peach by production. So, what happened? Well, a source said production was allegedly ready to give Porsha a peach with the option at her choice of storylines to showcase. This type of sweetheart deal is very rare in reality TV and extremely rare with Real Housewives of Atlanta production. The source continued, this alleged deal may also be the reason why Porsha ultimately wasn't officially signed to return. Many behind the scenes think that Porsha took the sweetheart deal as a sign that production and Bravo were desperate to have her back. Couple that with franchise ratings issues and public outcry from fans, Porsha may have thought she had production right where she wanted them. But did she? Well, an industry insider says no. Porsha once again overplayed her hand and sabotaged her own chances to return. But how? The industry insider continues by asking for too much money to return. Allegedly, Porsha wants to return to the franchise and was ready to do so, but only under one condition, that she returned as the highest paid housewife in Atlanta, something production and the network was not willing to do. But why? Another source said Porsha failed to realize that the network lost tons of money allegedly following her brand disastrous spinoff show. Porsha failing to properly promote the show left the network and producers angry and unwilling to work with her in the future, allegedly. Following the production change at Real Housewives of Atlanta, talk started to bring Porsha back. However, only the network and production had the terms of how they would bring her back financially. At the end of the day, Porsha wasn't being a realistic team player, and all sources agree that having Porsha back would have been a huge ratings hit. However, since she's been far away from the franchise for 2 seasons now, she has to prove to herself and to production that she is up for the challenge for stepping back into the reality TV show game. For now, sources say that the deal is not completely off the table and that production is hoping Porsha realizes that her financial demands are too much and relaxes them in order to make Sweet 16 season of Real Housewives of Atlanta her iconic return. All right, kinfolk, that was a rumor that came across my desk regarding Porsha and her failed attempt to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise for the upcoming season. Now, I will say this, there are some parts of this rumor that I can absolutely see as factual. And one of those is this. You know, when it comes to Porsha and negotiating a contract, whether it's for Real Housewives of Atlanta or for her own spinoff show or the deals with the brand, Porsha is never realistic when it comes to negotiating her contracts. She asks for a lot of money allegedly every season she was on towards since season 10. Now, Porsha understands that she is a big ratings draw. The last couple of seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta that Porsha was on, she was the main attraction in terms of drama. So rightfully so, her demands to allegedly ask for more money those seasons was quite was quite realistic. However, Porsha, as my sources are saying, is failing to realize that she's been away from the reality TV show game for a while, and that she has to prove herself that she's up to the challenge. And I think when my sources say that, one part of the challenge that she has to be up to is to opening up her marriage with Simon to the cameras. It's been a while since the news broke that Simon and Porsha were secretly dating and got married. And I think a lot of dust has settled down on the main front. However, if you do bring Porsha back, the topic of discussion on everyone's mind is going to be, how is her marriage to Simon really behind closed doors? So Porsha being up to the challenge of allowing fans and viewers into her marriage is something that she's going to have to think long and hard about. I'm almost certain that the network would not, or production would not, spend tons of money on Porsha and allow her to allegedly pick her own narrative, as long as one of those narratives the real insight to her marriage. So with that being said, I think Porsha has to make some moves to show production that she's ready to open up about the true nature of her marriage. And if she does that, I think once again she would be a shoe-in to return. Now, it's another part of this rumor, kinfolk, that I do find very interesting about Porsha and her wanting to allegedly return to the network and franchise. And it's this. Now, I do feel like Porsha really does want to come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. As you have seen many times in interviews, she's hinted at it. She's ready to return. I think motherhood has given her enough confidence to want to, get back out there and get back into the spotlight. And I think that is something that Porsha has done a really good job at vocalizing directly and indirectly. One thing that Porsha has playing in her favor is the fact that the majority of the cast wants her back. And that's always a plus. Whenever the current cast of ladies, or at least the majority of the current cast of ladies, want you back, then that's a good card to have in your hand to play at some point during negotiations. Now, I do believe that when my sources say that she is wanted but not necessarily needed. Now, Porsha is a ratings draw, but if you look at the last season she was on, when they centered the entire show basically around her and her Bolo scandal, it didn't play very well with fans. However, I do think that Porsha has been away from the franchise long enough to pique fan interest and get fans talking about her possibly returning back. So if she ever did return, it would be a big splash. However, once again, that question of is Porsha up to the job does come into play. Because after a while, fans are going to want to see you to start producing good reality TV. Now, the next part of this rumor, kinfolk, that I do find kind of hard for Porsha to pull off with this alleged information is this. I think it will be hard to give Porsha a pay raise in the middle of contract negotiations that the network is allegedly and productions allegedly having with the current cast of ladies. Simply because the current cast of ladies, they have been working very hard, despite some may say as a lackluster season or lackluster ratings, the current cast of ladies have been working extremely hard to help restore Real Housewives of Atlanta back to its glory days. So if you're in the middle of negotiations and you see a veteran peach holder come in and ask for more money, and for some crazy reason they're giving more money, then you're going to automatically have the current cast of ladies who the fans have now started to come around to definitely advocate for more money in their contract for the upcoming season. So that's why I feel like it will be kind of hard for Porsha to negotiate a pay raise right now at the end of the season when a lot of the current ladies are allegedly trying to work out their contracts. Now, again, you can tell Porsha and her team, they're working hard to make sure that Porsha is on everyone's minds and that Porsha is making all the right moves at the right time, because she knows after the reunion, they start handing out contracts. So for you to make yourself viable is understandable, but again, you have to make yourself realistically viable. And for Porsha, that comes in with her alleged financial ex. So with that being said, until she comes down on that number, I think it will be hard for production and network to move forward with Porsha, no matter how bad she wants to come back, and even no matter how much fans want to see her return. Now, kinfolk, the last part of this rumor that I find very interesting about Porsha, and I think you guys will too, is this. You know, despite what a lot of people may think, I still feel like the deal could possibly still go through for Porsha. I don't think Porsha's like Kim, where it seems like a complete no-go. Porsha does have several factors working in her favor. One, the current cast of ladies, or at least the majority of them, want to see her back. The majority of the fan base have come around to her marriage with Simon. They might still frown upon it, but it doesn't make them a hard no when asked, do you want Porsha to return? Fan favorability numbers are extremely high with Porsha, especially once her and Kenya start making nice with one another. Both of their fan likability numbers went up in the ratings, and for Porsha, that's a plus, seeing the fact that she's not even on the show officially yet. So with that being said, I do think that Porsha does have still an opportunity to come back. I think she does miss the spotlight. I think she does miss the franchise. And with that being said, at the end of the day, that may be enough for her to realize that, hey, maybe I'm asking for too much money. But we'll have to wait and see. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Now, this is all speculation and alleged information. However, do you think the real reason why Porsha may not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise is because she's asked extreme for too much money and her ask was extremely too high? Or do you think that Porsha still does have a chance to return to the franchise despite her alleged high contract demand? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.